I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. You meant the world to me. You meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know.
All right. And we're now here.
I don't need more enemies.
Week 2, OESL, Season 4. Here we have both 2-0 teams facing off right now here, Game 1 of the week, the most anticipated game of this week. Here we go. Team last place versus losing his fuzz 2. Had the pleasure of casting last place last week. Had some really good games from TK, Innocent, Osprey. The jungler did really, really well. Had a great J4 game. The mid laner had a crazy, crazy Katarina game to be able to carry that one and eke it out. And then they're up against Losing is Fun. Did not get the chance to cast those guys in the first week, but here we go. We have the pick and ban screen just started. We're not using Pro Draft. We're going to jump right in. Here we go.
Is the greatest enemy.
All right. So, a couple of the bands coming out. We have, and remember, this is the biggest news possible. We have the first game of the preseason patch, 9.23. It's the biggest patch of the entire year. It changes the whole game up. I'm so excited for these changes. I'm not going to talk too much because we have Champion Select going on right now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this throughout the game, but I'm the most excited for these changes, probably of any of the changes ever in this game. The map looks absolutely gorgeous, and the changes, they seem incredibly positive, and there's a lot. It's big changes, especially with the dragons. It's just really massive. But we're gonna get right into this. Bands coming out. We really don't know what is good, what isn't. We have to kind of judge how the game was in 9.22. Again, last season, yes, we're in the preseason here, but with so many changes, it's really hard to know. We're having first pick Ash coming out for team last place. So they're going ahead picking up the 80 carry. Right after that, losing his fun 2, picking up Kha'Zix. You know, kind of a very nice pick here. People aren't really sure of how the jungle is. Still new for the players. I'm not sure how many games each one of these guys has played. I haven't played a game yet. I was at work today. Didn't get a chance to play. Just been reading up. And so the Kha'Zix, really good champion against an immobile 80 carry and against a bunch of people that don't really know what the map is going to be like. We've got a stealth champion and... great in bushes, great trying to get around the map, and following that up, we have a Shen. So probably going top lane, could go support. We're going to have to see. So first 2 picks for losing his fun 2 already in the book. And we have a Nunu. Oh, for the jungle domination. Again, we don't know how the jungle is. Let's pick a jungle dominant champion here in Nunu. It's just going to be, I remember the camps are a little bit less valuable, but they are spawning every 2 minutes. So that's one of the changes. They change the jungle every season, and this season's no different. You could even say it's even a bigger change in jungle. XP lower, the spawn rate is faster, so you're going to be able to hit level 3 on clearing either blue side or red side, whereas last season, last patch, last week, you could only get level 3 from hitting the red. So huge change there, and rounding out the first 3 is Malzahar, most likely going in the mid lane. That was a really good pick in the first week. Okay, and believe in the second game, the mid laner had a really strong Malzahar game. Didn't die, I think, until like really late in the game. He was like 1-0 and with some assists until really late. So an excellent job by the mid laner, last place last week, picking the Malzahar, going ahead and picking it again. We're going to see, is this a comfort pick? Is this something that teams are going to have to ban in the future? We're only week 2. We're going to see. Again, everything has been thrown out. The biggest change of the year just happened. First game that we're casting with this. And following up with these picks here, we're having a Kali, most likely going in the mid lane with the Jinx, going in 80 carry, both for losing his fun 2 over on that side. There you go. So still probably a support over for those guys. And team last place, they still have a support and a top laner to pick. So let's see what they pick. Senna's been very popular, but banned. Leona is strong right now. Maokai, yes! We've just seen some recent buffs for Maokai. I believe it was in 9.21, 9.22, but he's been picked more in Korea. They are occasionally picking him in the support role, but a very natural, a very classic top lane pick, Maokai, rounding off that comp. A lot of ability power here from last place here. So they've got 4 predominant ability power champions with the Ashe. So we're gonna have to see, is that going to be a factor? I'm not sure. We'll see if some magic resist or some health gets built. Kind of switch it up. We'll see. People just like to build damage. Support is not sexy, like tank's not sexy. But there you go. I'll tell you who is sexy, Morgana. We saw some excellent Morgana play last week. Not in the game that I casted. Oh, what do we have here? It was just a Judge there. Okay, so one of the players couldn't change ruins. The player that was showing Malzahar. So I believe this will just be a remake on here. So all the picks were there, except, all the picks were already picked. So we had all 10 picks. Just want to take a peek at what's going on. Major Payne here, Season 1 winner. Just chatting with him over at, OESL. Was the captain of that team. Class act all the way. And he was already writing me messages here over on Team Last Place. Runes were bugged. The player looks like he's just going to restart his client. Okay, well, we have a short break, so let's... I will just go ahead and... show you where all the games are going to be uploaded here on my YouTube channel. You just type in Rav space Exel. You can see 177 videos. Here is the game from last week. Look, hey, I remember doing that. I just loaded it up yesterday. A couple people have already seen it. When you're clicking up here, you're gonna see
Fine. I don't need more enemies.
video start, goes ahead and auto plays. Diesel time missing in action. Last place interesting. And there you go.
Is the greatest enemy.
Playlist. This is where they're all going to be right here. Ontario esports season. As well as some of my other work. But you want to catch the games. There you go. They're all going to be put up there. I'll try to get them a little bit sooner than last week, where I kind of waited for the last possible minute. I will be better on that. I'll do it the next day. That is my declaration. But the games are starting up very shortly.
I return to my training.
So we'll just get back to that.
Never look back.
One of the players there. I will oblige. We'll turn off Discord because it can be annoying. Picks are just getting run back, so there's nothing really to announce. That'll just start happening. Sorry, dude, can't add you when I'm spectating. I'll add you later. So, getting back to some of these changes, yeah, massive changes, and the big changes are, yeah, some of the dragons are completely changed. Mountain Dragon now is no longer objective damage, but it's now armor and magic resist. And really, that's what a mountain should have been all along. I like the old buff. I'm just saying for how a buff is constructed. Infernal, damage, fire, mountain, rock, defense. Okay, so now you get 8, 16, 24, 32% armor and magic resist. Okay, so it's a percentage increase. So great if you're building it, not so great if you're just building damage. So that's the big change. Another big one. This is what is really being discussed quite a bit on Reddit. Is this Cloud Dragon? So no longer movement speed, but it's going to be cooldown reduction on your ultimate, and it ignores the CDR cap. So it goes from 10, 20, 30 to 40%, ignoring the CDR cap. So if you max out at 45% and you get all 4 Cloud Dragons, you're going to have an 85% cooldown reduction. So there was some math that was done by a Riot Games employee that if you pick Karthus and if you pick Ultimate Hunter and you get the max cooldown with the dragons, you can have your R ultimate on a 33-second cooldown. So that's doing 1,000 damage roughly to all the players in the game every 33 seconds. As what some players are saying, you just have to stay in base and press R. R. You don't even have to do anything. I'm winning. Literally press R to win. It's I think they're gonna change that. I don't think there's any way they're gonna keep that for the whole season. My prediction, caster call. We'll see. Okay, well, we can talk a little bit more about what some of the changes are. So, Elder Dragon, and again, big change there. It doesn't buff dragons anymore. It actually gives you an execute. So when you hit a champion and they have 20% or less health, you immediately execute. Now, it is dodgeable. It's a half-second cooldown. It's dodgeable, but then immediately it's back up to be able to hit the player again. So you can flash out, but then that's it. If someone hits you again, then that's it. Again, love the change. Another thing that makes just the game just a little bit simpler. Baron and Elder, instead of Baron having a longer time that it's up, and Elder way less, they're both going to be at 3 minutes. So you get the buff 3 minutes. Dragons at 5 minutes. Baron and Elder, they're going to last for 3. Nice and even. Just easier to kind of recall. But there's a lot more changes to kind of get into your mind and to think about here. It's going to take a few months for people to figure out these changes. Another one, Rift Herald. It's going to spawn earlier, and it's going to depend on when you kill the Rift Herald as how powerful it's going to be. Whereas before, you could get it and then wait a minute and a half, and as the average level of the players goes up, your Rift Herald strength would increase. But that's no longer the case when you pick it up. So let's say you pick it up at 12 minutes or something like that. It's going to be at whatever the level that you pick it up. That's the strength. The average strength is going to be roughly about the same as previously. So it's still going to be able to get those turret plates down. But one of the changes, again, so many changes. I could go on for maybe an hour about all these changes. I'm not going to do that. I'm almost going to be done. The turret plates are going to go down less the more people you have around it. Okay, so you're not going to be able to pick up the Rift Herald and use it down mid lane and then just rush 5 people. I mean, you can still do that, but then after the Rift Herald charge is done, you're going to be taking that tower a lot more slower than before. So also kind of prevents, going top, with 3 people and trying to take the tower early. It also prevents the 4-man bottom, taking that tower at the 7-minute mark, which we see occasionally, when a team goes ahead and makes that play. And then the other team kind of will do something on the other side of the map. Not going to happen. Too many changes to talk about. I will talk about it more in game. There's probably going to be a couple weeks of me talking about these changes, but we're also interested to see how this has worked. Let's talk about these teams. Let's talk about these players. In the top lane, we've got the tank versus tank matchup. Both doing grasp, both doing teleport. They're going to be looking to make an influence in the mid game. Both have CC. If they want to, if they get ganked, the jungler can go ahead and turn that. All right, in the jungle, both very strong in the jungle. Kha'Zix and Nunu. Haven't seen too many Nunus of late. Definitely been seeing a lot of Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, at least in 9.22, was very strong. Definitely in the A to S tier. You could even argue S+. I'll give it at least A to S. So definitely know that that Kha'Zix is strong of late. Mid lane, we're having Kali and Malzahar. Kali's going to be looking to roam, pick up kills. Whereas Malzahar is going to be looking more to just hold this down. But wait, we can't just go and talk about everything now. We've got an invade in the top side, an unusual invade. I like it. Not usual that you see 4 players go up to that side. And then because of that, we're going to have a counter invade. They know they're going to be able to get some vision off. But if there's just 4 of them, okay. There's 4 of them. So they're going to just throw a ward, and everyone's going to wait. All right, let's talk about a little bit more. We see this enclave now, enclave. That's going to be on both sides of the map. And the biggest map change that I love, that bush right here. The entrances to the jungle. That adds a lot. That adds a lot. This was already here, but it's this and back over here. It used to be very, very safe to walk up this pathway to the buff. Now it's very dangerous. You can set a lot of traps up there. So both teams starting on the blue. So despite the invade on the red side, they're just throwing a couple of deep vision wards. Now while we have a minute to catch our breath, we can just talk a little bit about the bot lane. Kind of a poke lane here in the Ashe Lux for last place. And definitely when they hit 6, they're going to have that chain CC with the ultimates. Well, with the ultimate of Ashe and the Q of Lux. And then we have more of a scaling bot lane over with the Jinx, who's going to want to try to get some levels, try to get big for the late game. And then having the Morgana with that black shield and the stun will try to get her there. There we have in the stun into the mines, and these chompers are going to be able to take that down with Lux picking up, with Morgana picking up the kill. But we're having a jungle fight here. Lots of action early. We're having a red fight. Oh, and a little bit of a missed flash. Oh, that is unfortunate. Big lead here from losing his fun too. Already 2-0 and taking a buff. Whoa, what a turn of events. Kha'Zix's just waiting a little bit. Probably could take some of these camps here while he was at it. Seems it just wants to wait for the kill. Is not going to be able to get it. Nunu, assuming that Kha'Zix would have already cleared at least one of these camps, is just going to go to the other side and take the scuttle. It's a very smart play here from TK Incessant. The Captain Flowers would say the wet noodle fight up here. Don't expect a whole lot to be going on up here unless the jungler comes and ganks. Right now, Shen is pushing it, but that doesn't have to stay like that. But we're having already in the mid lane, we're having a 2v2 onto the Kha'Zix, who's already showing the double buffs. Malzahar already weak, and red team losing his fun too is going to be trying to get the better of that. But we're having the very weak Kha'Zix who has the double buffs, and Nunu really wants them back. He's not able to get it. Kha'Zix is going to be able to smite the jungle camp. He's going to get that health back, and despite all this skirmishing in the mid lane, no more kills going over. But while we were talking, Ashe was killed in the bottom. Morgana did pick up another kill, so there she is, 2 kills. The new Spell Thief's Edge, well, the new art, it's pretty much the same item. Another big change, cannot purchase the support items anymore. That's right, you can buy the first one, but as it upgrades, you don't buy the upgrades. You get it based on the gold and the quest that you get with the support items. So huge change down there. I mean, I think so. It's your number 1 item for an entire class, and you can't buy it anymore. You actually have to earn it. So it makes that you have to either poke or pick up getting your stacks on the relic shield. You're actually having to earn it. So also, there's so many big. I keep saying big changes because, like I said, I think this is the biggest patch change. Oh, but here we're having a gank. As I said, nothing's going to happen until the jungler comes up, and being able to get the kill up on there is the Kha'Zix being able to gank that pushing lane. Being able to turn that now at 4-0. Okay. Kills going around all over the map. Once again, it's bot lane. 3 kills here. This time Jinx picks it up with the BF sword. And the Morgana already picking up the Phoenix Cortex. Very big item for this early in the game at 5 minutes. It's it's unusual. You have 2 kills and an assist with your support at 6 minutes, and already purchasing that with the Dark Seal. Ooh, she's gonna be pretty happy if she can start stacking that up. Kind of a win more item, and they are starting to win. Akali already picking up the Hextech Revolver there. Not wanting to miss any more of the action. Kha'Zix is seen out here with this vision. Looks to be going mid lane. Level 6 is hit by both mid laners. Going to be under the tower, but that's not going to stop Kha'Zix from going in. The ultimate and the W used, but because the kill goes over, the ultimate stops channeling. Akali is already 1-0. The Kha'Zix 2-0-1, and this is just getting bad to worse. Really. Everywhere in the middle and bot side of the map is going over for red. Losing is fun too. Gold getting pretty easily distributed. Their Shen's getting a little bit aggressive, but both of them have hit points. Shen picking up that Spectral's Cowl. Maokai getting the Bomby Cinder. Really, both of them going defensive to start. Not going to be able to pick up a kill without some sort of help, but that's already happened once. Could happen again. This must change up the bot lane. Like, this is a straight lane here. Now you could hide back here. You have another bush you can hide in. You can put your team, you can put, the jungler, maybe to come around this side, and then into the bush here. So a lot of different play angles that we're going to see that we haven't seen before, and just because of the new map setup, I hope we see it. Great poke here. And really Lux and Ashe, they're just trying to survive. Nothing's really going their way. Yeah, they're getting a gank here, but not going to be doing too much for them. Frankly, with this Kha'Zix here, it's really going to turn. We're having a 3-on-3 fight, but we're also it's Shen that's going to be coming in. He's going to be trying to turn that. He's coming in from the top lane, and wow, 9-0. Shen coming right in to make that 4 people bottom. They're most certainly going to turn this into a dragon again. Mountain Dragon. It's not giving you damage to objectives. It's going to get you tank stats, and Shen's going to love that when he starts continuing to buy tank items. Already with that Spectre's Cowl, he's going to continue to purchase, and this is just going to amplify this first dragon. I believe it's 8%. Yeah, 8%, and it goes up by 8, so it's nice and even. Magic resist and armor. Even taking the tower shot, it's not really much. You can take a single tower shot. Multiple might be asking a little too much, but going to push that wave in. There, he's taken 2, but fairly even life on both. Maybe try to clear that ward. Rift Herald already up. I believe it spawns a little bit earlier. $4,500 gold lead. Losing is fun too, is frankly dominating this game. It started with first blood on the bot lane, followed up by a jungle invade on the red side, killing both the Nunu and picking up the buff at that, and it's just been increasing the lead ever so much from then. Really big damage here from this bot lane. Already the Infinity Edge made from Jinx, and that's going to be about all she wrote on that one. Luna's going to try to pick up the kill onto Morgana, but will not be able to get this Jinx. I mean, did as much damage as he could, but Jinx already at 95 farm at 11 minutes of the game, 4-0-5, 9 kill participation out of the 13. Just frankly, 13 kills in 11 minutes is pretty impressive. Turret plates are still available. And left that perfectly. Was able to get that last plate there. And get the back off. Doing another gank here in mid lane. Trying to extend that lead, but Malzahar is playing very safe. His one death was under turret. So really not much to blame there. Did channel the ultimate against the Kazakhs previously, but the damage from Akali was a little too much. Morgana just hitting all kinds of skill shops. Malzahar getting the follow-up damage and going over to Ashe with a much-needed kill. Coming up from the bot lane, trying to change this. We're having Shen coming in with the teleport, going right into the taunt. He's going to try to turn this mid. Said, hey, you trying to get some kills on us? I'm going to turn this once again. Turn bot lane, turn mid, and he's just being all over the map. 0-0-6. Really good game from Jewish Wannabe. Lots of turret plates down for the Maokai. This is simply from Shen roaming, but what he's able to do around the map is worth way more than these tower plates. If he loses this tower from roaming once more, it's not the end of the world. It's not that bad. He's ensuring that his team stays ahead. It's now 6,000 gold up, already at the 13-minute mark. And that's even with these turret plates going down, 4 of the 5. But likewise, over on the other side, this looks like first tower. You're going to get that solo gold for Jinx. As we can see, Jinx down here, over 3,000 gold up. Already at before 14 minutes. Going in for the vision. Malzahar is going to try to get back the tower, but once again, hitting the binds is Morgana, having an excellent game. Liam the... It's like I want to say something else. I love that name. It's like Liam Neeson. I think, the big meme cult following that he was getting from those Taken movies. I like to think it's from those movies, but down with his partner, Snipe Show 06. Ashe coming up with the ult. Following up with the damage is Lux. They're hitting some of these skill shots here in the mid game. Morgana with the black shields not going to be able to defend that. 3 kills over for last place. And 3 levels down. Got to be very wary chasing this kill. Oh, and Lakali went right into the snowball. It's just kind of funny there. That's all. But meanwhile, while we're laughing, first dragon taken. The Ocean and the Infernal both weakened a little bit, but going right in, Malzahar with the channel onto Kazakhs, trying to follow up the damage. The team just barely has enough. They almost had it there. Could there be a comeback? There might be a comeback. This Malzahar should be able to clear waves. They have excellent wave clear here at the blue side. Team last place. They're going to try to extend this game. The gold lead's still at 6,000, but that's what it was about 3-4 minutes ago. Oh, look at the beautiful artwork there. So again, with the changes, we had the first dragon. The second dragon is ocean. There you're seeing the extra bushes that come apart. There's also supposed to be extra honey fruit around this area, as well as water from the ocean dragon. These are puddles. So if you have water walking, you go a little bit faster. Visually, I just love these changes. The dev team at Riot really did something. People in League like to complain about the game making so much money, and yet it's not changing enough. The investment's not being put back. But just from the outsider looking in, it really looks like they did the works this time around. Love seeing the pro games. Talking about the pro games, have you guys seen all these trades that have been made? All these buyouts? Not only the most exciting patch in memory, but here we're having Shen going deep, being able to save the Jinx, and this Shen is just all over. Excellent. Jewish Wannabe is just all over the map, just loving it. Being able to turn that 18 kills now at 17 minutes. Losing is fun too. Being able to be at the right place at the right time. The communication on this team is extremely strong. I'd love to find out who are the major voices on this team, because it's quite noticeable, especially with how the top laner is coming back into his team. Just some really solid Shen play. I'm going to look for this in the rest of the tournament. Jewish Wannabe on Shen, mark my words. He's a playmaker. Seemed like a fairly easy rift to take. I just meant in terms of hit points in comparison with the patch before. Most obvious place where they want to try to take it is here in the top lane. Being able to go for that tier 1. Not necessarily have to do it, just it's the most exposed of the turrets. Swinging back down to the items. Ashe already 2.5 items in. The rapid fire cannon I know changed. The energize factor changed on this. There we can see some of the new stats. I also don't think we can only get 150 range maximum. Also, I believe the lethality items changed. So over here on the Kha'Zix, I believe they got nerfed a little bit. So there's the Dustblade. Kind of a lull in the game, which is great for blue team. They really they need to staunch the bleeding here. Nunu not really able to do what he wants to do, being so far behind. He can't really invade into the enemy jungle without fear of dying. Oh, and this is a tragedy. We're having a DC here from Akali. Just going to go ahead and pause the game until that gets brought up. Bring up the chat here. Having a joke about whether it's an FF or not. That is hilarious. There's actually a decent chance, even with 4 players, that red team could win. Pretty good chance. Let's swing over to the gold. Gold here in top lane is even. Maokai is doing a good job at pushing the tower. He did get top turret, while Shen did the ultimate the third time. So he should have some decent tank items. Should be finishing his second item shortly. Really needs to get involved in these team fights. I imagine he will be. He's towards the bottom side now. Let's remember that Kha'Zix does have this Rift Herald. Significant gold lead over the Nunu. 2,700. And Akali's back. Awesome. Golden mid, fairly even. Good on the Malzahar, despite losing 2 turrets, is able to keep that gold nice and even. It's because of excellent farm score. But here we're having CC onto CC, Lux to Ashe to Nunu. And even with all that CC hitting, still cannot finish the kill. Kha'Zix going in through the background, being able to pick up the Nunu, and 20-3, but that's not it. We're having red team's going to continue to do even more damage, being able to take out the Maokai, even with those tank items, even with that tower, not going to be able to do a meaningful amount of CC and tanking. So the second Ocean Dragon of the game. Remember, the Ocean is not doing health and mana anymore. It's just health. As well as it's not just out of combat, it's in combat too. You get health regen. So a change. But here we're having the end of our game. And we're going to have to switch out. Here we're having the next screen coming out. Take a look at some of the scores. A lot of perfect scores. Really only the support dying on team losing his fun too. And even then, support Morgana was able to pick up 2 kills extremely early in the game. Hit a lot of really good binds that I saw, and I wasn't even looking down there all that much. So even though having 3 deaths, great game on the Morgana. Everyone else showing perfect. The Shen definitely very key ultimates. The 3 times that I saw him use it. Some of the graphs here, total damage to champions, Jinx leading that, getting that early Infinity Edge, picking up all those kills in bot lane, followed up by the Kha'Zix, I believe was 7-0, so really good on that. Damage taken, yes, by the 2 tanks, but did it end up matter? They ended up taking a lot of damage, didn't matter in the end. Gold earned, almost the most important stat in the game. Really, shows whether you're going to win or not. Jinx picking up the most, followed by Kha'Zix. Vision score, high scores, in the 20s, fairly even. Despite being that far ahead, not that much of a significant vision score. Normally, when you see a team win by that much, they're like double in the vision charts, but that's not the case. Good vision around both sides. And we're going to be having the second game coming right up. Just going to take a very short break, and we're going to be having our second game coming very soon here. Ontario Esports League, Season 4, Week 2. We're right here. We just saw Losing in Fun 2 go 3-0 and handing last place their first loss of the season. They're 2-1, still very much in it. They're going to go and play their next game. Myself, Rav Exel, Caster Rav. We'll see you shortly. Rav Exel, Caster Rav. We'll see you shortly. Rav Exel, Caster Rav.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. I wonder what went wrong today, Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember.
And we've got a couple of minutes here. So we thought we could show some gaming action from last week in case you missed it. We have some week 1 action here. Going to bring up the Ontario Esports League website and we'll take a look at some of the clips from last week. So let's see. I know I picked out some good ones. Oh, here we have one.
We're having 3 members here. Flash coming in from the Olaf, going to ult right in, going to do all kinds of damage. But we're having Cat, who's cleaning up all kinds of kills. TP coming in from red team. It's big bad Nasus. He's like, I've got an E, I've got an ult. I'm going to take that stack. Don't worry about that. Oh, back on the backside, we're having Lux landing the fadeaway ult as she does. Nasus is trying to take on the whole team. He's big, he's strong, he's... okay, he's not super Nasus. He's like moderately strong Mastiff.
All right, that was one of them. And let's see what we have. What else? Oh, we've got a Master Yi clip for all you degenerate Lee junglers.
Definitely not
Called the Lee
same
effect.
constitution, the same durability. Being able to land that ult though, being able to go hard, and that all started from that Lux ult, and Olaf tried to finish it up deep. He had the ultimate, trying to get the damage reduction, but it wasn't enough, and he flashed it right into his team. Unfortunately, disaster. Master Yi being able to turn this once again, and the Yi effect coming up strong.
And Marco was almost able to turn that game for his team. He kept them in there until the last possible moment, but I believe it was Diesel Time was able to hold out. Very, very close game. Here's one of my favorite. We got to do a Baron steal for sure. Here's the Baron steal. I believe it was in the third or fourth game. It was in the second series.
The Baron. Okay, now they have a full 4 members going at it hard.
An Ezreal jungle.
Make that 5. Was under the character model. Already down at half. There we got Vision coming out. Baron's at 4,000. Looks like it's going to be close. Very, very close. We're having Red Team stole the Baron.
Let's just put it back. There's just a little bit of slowdown.
Looks like it's going to be close. Very, very close. We're having Red Team stole the Baron.
Put it one more time.
Looks like it's going to be close.
Just
very, very close. We're
slowdown.
having Red Team stole the Baron.
He did
Excellent
steal
play.
it, though.
Mikael Tau coming right
He went
for
in.
the
He got
pure
out. He died though, but you know he got the Baron. Kept that game going for a little bit longer. And my favorite clip. This is a level 3 Ezreal jungle invade.
Scootman taking this camp down here. This is an awfully trap. Oh, we've got a trap in the jungle here. Oh, we have an Ezreal. Oh, and he's going to hit, and he's hitting him for all kinds of damage. And following him up with the red, with the blue, the fire. It's going up. Though the smite's just able to take him off. He's got to go very quietly here. The Orianna does not want to go into the jungle.
And was able to get the damage off, get the buff, and make it out. A couple more clips here while we get this next series on the way. We're having EverFrag versus Diesel Time. They're just getting set up right now.
Why didn't Ryan ever think about that? What's going on? Here we're having action in the bot lane. TF's coming down, then making not a fair fight. He's going ahead, getting all kinds of damage. He's going to be trying the second kill. He's going to go ahead onto Sivir. We're going to see if he's still got the spell shield up, but she doesn't quite have it. Oh, and the last shot from Caitlyn. Like icing on a cake. It's the perfect je ne sais quoi of the damage. Is your enemy goes towards the back lane, and you do a little bit of damage for the finish.
Picking up that kill there with the clip, with the R, ace in the hole. And we got one last one from the first week of games.
Landing onto the Nautilus, but followed right up by the Lee Sin, landing a resonating strike, going for the first blood. And do we have first blood at 2 minutes and 30 seconds? Oh, it's oh so close, and he's got it! Mikael Tau with the first blood, going for the level 2 gank. Red to Gromp to level 2 gank with aggressive junglers. This is an excellent path to do when you are starting here on the red side.
And I clipped a lot of his clips. That was 3 of his clips were shown. He made a lot of high level jungle moves in his first 2 games already. Okay. And we'll be right back with your next series in just a few moments. And it looks like we are back for our second series. And it looks like we are back for our second.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
Okay, we've got EverFrag versus Diesel Time. I casted Diesel Time last week, but I have not seen EverFrag play. EverFrag lost their first 2 games of the week, so they are 0-2, whereas Diesel Time went 1-1. I distinctly remember one of their games. There was a really strong bot lane action, as well as from the jungler. So we're gonna have to see on Diesel Time their jungle and their bot lane, whether they show up once more. And EverFrag, well, this is a new experience. We're gonna see how they end up doing. And Aatrox taken out first. Very quickly. Picks and bans going fast and furious. Followed up by Vladimir Lee Sin. The jungler on Diesel Time played Lee Sin last week and had a stellar game on him. So we'll be looking for more of that. Countering that, EverFrag picking up some beefy tanks. Nunu being picked up. I'm seeing a trend here. It must be out that Nunu is strong in this new preseason. I've definitely seen that Nautilus has been strong. He's been strong for at least the past 6 months now. Been a S plus tier support for a while. Got some minor nerfs. It was to the R, was doing less damage, but still is a big tank. Still has tons of utility and stuns. Just a little bit less damage on the R. Following up is the Talon. Talon has been regarded as one of the best mid laners because can push the wave and then roam and affect the rest of the map. So very important in that regard. So some really strong picks, universally thought on both sides. Getting to the point where we're starting to see some familiar picks already with the Lee Sin on the one side. Already seen Mikhail Tal do extremely well. Already clipped him. I showed a clip just earlier. Strong jungle play. Xayah Morgana for a very safe bot lane. So that means Nautilus is going to be going mid lane. So pulling a chapter out of Doinby's book, the world champion from China, FPX, played a lot of Nautilus, shown its versatility. But Senna being left open, and we did see that in week 1, and she demolished the opposing team. So a Jhin Senna bot lane, and he's paying a very close attention to that. A lot of damage versus very safe. A lot of attack damage here for Diesel Time, whereas EverFrag has a balanced comp, lots of tank, nice even amount of AP and AD. So we're going to assume that Aatrox is top lane up against the Vladimir. So there has been some changes. Klepto is no longer a thing. So Vladimir does not have that summoner to go with. The next leading Ruin here from last patch. I haven't seen this patch. It's too new, but a lot of people were playing Phase Rush. We're going to see if 9 Gaming 11, I can read Roman numerals, playing Vladimir here, is going to build Phase Rush, or is going to try something else, going to do something like a spell book. We did see Dopa make it to number 1 in Korea right before former Gen G player Cuz was able to overtake him to finish number 1 on the Korean server at the end of the season. Dopa, who, if you don't know who he is, also known Apto, look him up if you want to see universally thought of as one of the best players, and definitely one of the best player that does not currently play pro. That's no question. Consistently makes it to the top of China, of Korea, and well, those are the servers that matter. He's playing Oriana Spellbook and going hard with that. Also playing his classic Twisted Fate. Whereas Cuz, he was able to make it to the number 1 in Korean server by duo queuing with a Rek'Sai jungle, and he was playing Cassiopeia. So being able to make it playing champions that we don't always see. Definitely seen a lot more of the Oriana in the past few months, but Cassiopeia is not picked too much. In the jungle, both are strong early. You'd like to see the Lee Sin try to be aggressive against Nunu. Nunu's going to try to get that XP advantage. He's going to try to get up in levels and not fall behind early. In mid lane, you really got to like the Nautilus against the Talon in a 1v1 matchup, but you really like Talon to be able to affect the map a lot more. Also, what we're seeing over in EverFrag, Leafs 1 Nautilus, is he's picking Teleport. So 2 teleports there, whereas the Talon picking the Ignite. So going for kill pressure, wanted to try to pick up a kill in roam, try to pick up a kill and back, get an item lead, that type of thing. And then bot lane, we already talked about it. We're having the safe Xayah Morgana versus the Jhin Senna, which, frankly, yes, been seeing a lot of Senna in the last couple of weeks, but haven't seen her into every type of matchup. Don't know how she does into every type of support duo. I do know she is weak against very aggressive supports, and Morgana is not known as a very, very aggressive support. So if you can avoid the binds early, if you can make it out of the bot lane without being substantially behind, you will get that damage. You will have that utility, and Senna going with the Ahri to be able to proc as much damage as possible is Nev here on the Senna. So looking at the ruins, Vladimir, as we can see, did go with the phase rush, also went with inspiration secondary, so he's going to play a very safe bot lane. A couple of conquerors around the map. Nautilus going with the classic Aftershock. Aftershock, a lot of people have thought got a buff. So anyone that builds Aftershock, because it procs that much faster, again, we're talking about 9.23 changes, the preseason patch that we're just in. Maybe some of these players' first games playing with them, but Aftershock now procs much faster. And I know the Aftershock junglers have gone up in priority, such as Zac, such as Sejuani. I know Gragas is doing pretty well, but a lot of people are still building Predator on Gragas, but with the Aftershock now getting increased usage, could see Gragas go back to a little bit of Aftershock. Bot lane, everything's very, very standard in terms of the runes and summoners. Having a nice spread formation. I'm looking at this bot lane here from Diesel Time. As stated, performed extremely well week 1. And in EverFrag, well, I'm interested in this Nautilus mid lane. Don't get to see it much except for at Worlds. I bust it out once in a while, but you got to be able to hit your dredge line. And it's got a much wider hitbox than the Thresh hook or the Blitzcrank hook, but you've got to hit it. Both are not pushing the waves. A little bit surprising that Talon doesn't want to push that, but there you go. That's the reason why he's able to get the early damage off. We're having Nunu start the red side as well as Lee Sin. Going to go buff to buff, whereas Nunu is going to start on his bot side. Going to see if there's going to be any level 2 ganks here. If you're Nunu, you could come around and gank this mid lane. It is pushing, but a big wave over to Nautilus. You'd really like to see him level 2 before you go in. They're already with the first roam at 2 minutes, probably just for vision. Probably going to put a ward right here. Let's see. Does he go all the way? Ooh. Going to get that extra vision. Just looking to see if Nunu is going along this path. Check this bottom wave out. Early push here from Diesel Time. That's exactly what Morgana wanted to do. Put the W between them, have the Comet go out. That did hit. There we go. With the new Enclave here at the bottom. Jungler, he knows this is pushing. There he goes. This is a set play. Very close to having that work. Yes, the CC is hit there, but it's not going to be able to follow up with the damage. And just going to get a slight damage advantage. Jungler seen on bot. Instead of going Scuttle, looks like he might be going right back up for another gank. Let's see if he does that. Meanwhile, while he's thinking about that, Nunu is going for the gank. Vladimir very close to the tower. Will have pool at this point. There's not really anything that EverFrag can do with this. Oh, but meanwhile, I went and looked at the top gank. Didn't see the mid gank. Lee Sin, first blood, went along this path. We saw him here. Went along here and got the kill. Had the double buffs. Talon was going to get that back timing. First blood to Lee Sin. Going to be probably building a couple of long swords. Maybe we'll go back for some boots. We're going to have to see on his first back. Bot lane very even to start initially. Mid lane is an advantage for Talon. Went with the Tiamat first. That's going to help him push. Meanwhile, we're having a clear one-on-one kill. Aatrox being able to get that kill out onto Vladimir, and the flash still up. So just probably underestimated the damage of Vladimir and has to teleport back. Does not want to lose too many of these minions. But here we're having mid gank. Lots of ganks. Mid lane to top to mid lane. And this time goes over to Talon. 2v1. And that's just not a fair fight. Lee Sin camping mid lane. And it's giving them dividends here. First dragon is Infernal. This is not the same Infernal as you remember before. Damage has been reduced to 5, 10, 15 to 20% on the fourth damage. 80 and AP, and that is down from before. So no longer the by far best jungle dragon. Kill going over to Nunu. EverFrag fighting back, killing the Jhin, being able to stop him from CSing for a little bit of time. Did walk past this ward, was seen by this Scuttle. Oh, excellent. Bind. Hercules. Going to give a nice back for his team. Let's see what first item. Should get 47 CS with an assist. Does get that pivotal BF sword. So excellent for the bot lane of EverFrag. Kuklas Dinosaur picking up that early item lead. So BF sword versus pickaxe in the bot lane. Pay very, very close attention to this Talon. Already picking up early Tiamat. He does have ult out. Did manage to push that, and here they go a Roman right before 6 minutes. Aatrox is pushed out, as we can see, and he knows he's in trouble. Oh, he just stops there for a second. Oh, just a little bit of a miss there. Might not even be needed. He's only needed if he wants an assist. Seems like he's going to give it over to his team. Could be a mistake as Aatrox is fighting back. Oh, and we're having a disconnect. Oh, that's terrible. That could have went so much differently. That is so disappointing. They had the 3-man roam up there. That was going to be a kill for sure over for Diesel time. And Aatrox being able to pick up another kill because of that DC. We're going to have to see what kind of effect that's going to have. And as I state that, the effect is massive. Just going to stay top lane when I want to pick up this farm. Meanwhile, while this is going on, blue team picking up the Infernal Dragon. Remember with the Infernal Dragons, after the second one is taken, then the map changes. So there's the first one gone. The next one will be in 5 minutes, about 12 minutes, 30 seconds. And then the next dragon after that, it's going to be all of that variety. So you get the first 3 dragons that are possible different dragons, followed by all of the rest the same until it gets to Elder Dragon. Here, once again, gank in the top lane. Lee Sin, want to make sure to secure this. Aatrox is 3-0, but hasn't been back to base to buy. Push this right over to Lee Sin. It's an excellent time to gank because Aatrox wasn't able to buy the items that he does have now with a full item slot here. Going that Caulfield's Warhammer and that Kindle Gem. Counter jungling here by Lee Sin. Already got 2 kills and an assist. Affecting the map quite well. A little bit of trouble here from Talon. Flash comes in from Nautilus. Lee Sin's going to try to turn it. He does have double buffs, but it's a 2-on-1. He gets one. Does he get the other? It's a level 8 versus level 6, and he's got the tower helping him. Almost no skill shot. Oh, if he did not have Drudge Line, but he doesn't need Drudge Line right away. Look at that play from Lee Sin, landing the resonating strike in, immediately ward hopping over. This is a player that knows how to play this champion. Excellent use of the mechanics here from Mikael Tal. And 5-5, game very, very close. Bot lane, not a lot of action going on at this time. It's all mid and top, mid and top, mid and top. Junglers have not... Yeah, they've each ganked the bottom lane about once each. Both seem to be just farming it out. Now Talon's going to do what he does. He's going to push this lane right into Nautilus. Decides not to get some damage out of him. Looks like Nautilus was baiting that. Going to go towards bot. Nope. I'm going to give early vision. But bot lane coming once again. We're having Lee Sin going deep, but he was stunned right under the turret. He is on fire, just barely able to get it. Jin followed up with the damage with Talon going deep, deep underneath the turret. It doesn't look like he's going to get out. 2 for 1 here. Over for EverFrag. Game extremely even at this point. Kills being divided between top lane and the 80 carry, with a couple going to jungle and mid. Nice even kills. Early Rift Herald. Will not be contested. They're going to see if they can use this before the tower plates go down. This can let EverFrag have a real chance of taking a firm hold of this game. Yes, they have a kill up. Yes, they have an Infernal Dragon up. But could they also take first turret? This was a set play. The Nautilus wanted to be engaged on, and right onto Talon. They're going to be able to get this, and I predict that they're going to use the Rift Herald right here. And they are. And they're no longer the long charge time on the Rift Herald. This is the new Rift Herald. And be able to get 3 turret plates. Very close on the 4th. Rift Herald, one more shot. Do you get the 4th plate over? That, if that dredge line hits, that's a kill right there. Very, very close in that regard. Plate gold can be spent by Nautilus. Jungler Nunu did get some as well. Already finished the Cinder Hulk. Most likely we'll continue the tank, and we'll get some movement speed along with that. Level advantage here from Lee Sin. Full level up. Nunu, very smart not to want to fight there. Both hit. Jhin coming in with the ult. Being able to land some damage. Really, Diesel Time just want to try to get out here. Being able to pick up the kill. We're having a trade, kill for kill, but EverFrag to be able to trade in a slight advantage here at a 2-for-1, jungle for jungle, but add the mid lane to that, and now EverFrag's going to move towards the mid lane and look to try to get this first turret. 1 turret plate left. We get right before 14 minutes. Going to lock that up. So this should go down a little bit slower because there's 3 of them, but with all these minions, and again, it's only 3 people. It's not like it's 4 or 5. Able to pick that up. Dragon is there, but they are prioritizing that first dragon. That first tower. And they're going to get damage on this 2nd tier mid. Looks like Lee Sin's going to try to want to get some extra kills here. The Black Shield already used up. The R already for Nautilus. The less damage. He's not able to land the dredge line to get out of there. And a slight turn here from Diesel Time. Looks like they're going to turn towards the Baron. With the mid laner down. Even though they do not control this Scuttle Crab. Should be a fairly elementary dragon here. Wind Dragon, I'm going to keep mentioning it because it's a major change, but no longer giving the movement speed, but now giving ultimate cooldown reduction, and it forgoes the cap. Mountain Dragon now is the 3rd dragon, so as also stated, it's going to be now Mountain Dragons until the Elder Dragon. So every 5 minutes, next one's going to be at 19 minutes, 30 seconds. Mountain Dragon gives bonus defensive stats, armor, and magic resist. So they're going to be every 5 minutes. Going up with that. 8, 16, 24%, 32, right up to 32 if you can get that far. If you can get 4 dragons, you get something what's called a Dragon Stone or a Dragon Soul. That gives a permanent buff as well. That stays even if you die. You still keep it. Just another thing, another reason to fight over dragons. It's not just the straight buff itself, but if you can get 4 dragons, you also get this special unique buff. So 2 buffs to fight for once you get a certain amount. Jhin just using that ult to try to clear the wave. Just wants to save his tower. But Nautilus is not having that. He's going to try to go in. Black Shield is going to prevent him from damage for a little bit, but an awfully dangerous. They're going to see if they're going to try to turn this. The stun being able to hit onto the Morgana. Damage not able to hit from Nautilus. Picking up the kill is the Nunu, but meanwhile we're having lanes pushed here. Mid lane taken. Top lane, push to tower, damage being done. Action going all over the map. Jungler almost getting out, but just barely not making it. We're having Xayah going very, very deep. Heal being used. He's going to be able to take one more turret shot, and we're going to have a 2nd tier turret go down. So yes, EverFrag was able to lose mid turret, but picked up a second tier bot turret in return. Talon's looking for an easy kill, but that's not Nunu. The other two, yes, but not Nunu. Very aggressive here from Nunu. He's going to rely on his movement speed and his inherent tankiness. Morgana realizing that, going to try to walk him out. So we have a little bit of time to talk about this Mountain Dragon. So as stated, it gives you defensive stats. Look, there is now a structure here in the middle, and then there's also 2 barriers as well. This one is very key spot. You have the new bush and this rock now coming up. But meanwhile, as we're looking at rocks, Lee Sin coming in, using a lot, ward hop into ultimate. Remember, Aatrox is level 12, does have quite a bit of power, finishing the Black Cleaver, and still with the Caulfield's Warhammer, being able to pick up even more. Nautilus now with 4 kills, 2 assists as well. And going to be a lot of damage onto this top tower. Most likely going to take it. Diesel Time going to think the better of it and going to back off. Tons of action happening in this game. 25 kills between these two teams in less than 18 minutes. Hard to get to everywhere where all the action's happening. It's really good. It's everywhere. Aatrox going to push that in. Most likely going to want to back. Call being pinged for Rift Herald and for Scuttle. But with mid lane pushed, top lane back to base, it'll be awfully risky. Especially seeing about how Vision has been going down. Nautilus being able to pick up the Scuttle Crab. Lee Sin trying to go deep. Does have the new lethality item, but what's going in? We're having the support taking all kinds of damage. Nautilus trying to fight. Ultimate used by Nunu trying to separate the characters. Everyone's going so low, but no one's going down except for Lee Sin, who's going to go down first. Jada's looking like to be following up. We're having 2 for 1 right now for EverFrag. Make that a 3 for 1. EverFrag getting really up ahead this game. They're being able to take over 4 for 1 with Rift Herald being pinged as well as mid. We're also having a Mountain Dragon up, so picking up a huge teamfight win at 19 minutes with all kinds of neutral objectives left on the map. This is like Christmas here when you're a child and your parents just... let's say you have divorced parents and they're each buying you gifts, trying to buy your love, okay? And it's just an overflowing of gifts. There's one Rift Herald. What else is there going to be? Well, you just got that Rift Herald gift where they're pinging out the dragon. Lee Sin is going to be going down towards the contest. Going to be a little bit difficult because Aatrox did go down towards the end. This is very, very dangerous from EverFrag. If they lose this fight here, it's a way back for Diesel Time. And here, the kick going up onto Nunu. Nunu being a little bit too tanky. Support going down as well as Lee Sin. Bind going down, hitting the Vladimir. Also Ignite on him, not able to regen as much health as he'd want. Nautilus is going to try to get towards the back of this pit, not wanting to die just yet, but he says, you know what, we're going to make sure to secure this fight and this dragon. 800 health, clean up the fight is EverFrag, picking up the dragon, they get it all. 2 massive team fights win. Now it's a 5 for 1, so they win a 4 for 1, take Rift, they win a 5 for 1, take Dragon. This game is now being taken over for their first win here in the 3rd game of this tournament season. Ontario Esports League Season 4, Week 2, EverFrag versus Diesel Time. EverFrag pulling out ahead. And I love seeing that. I love seeing close games. I love seeing comebacks. EverFrag is going to get on the board if they can pull this off. They're 7,000 up, 21 minutes. Really like that position. Can they translate that to a Baron? Can they translate that to some more dragons? There's Lee Sin being very, very aggressive. It served him well early on, but towards the mid game, as his team started to fall behind, it's getting a little bit dangerous. But Nautilus with the dredge line, hitting the Talon. Big damage already from Diesel Time. Blue team using the Rift Herald. Two of them pushing bot already. Nunu is going to be able to tank this for a significant amount of time. He is fairly tanky. Bot turret's ready to go. This is a tier 3 turret. They're going to have a wide open naked inhibitor. Rift Herald still alive. Going on to the Vlad, who just doesn't have enough damage to be able to take them out. He's 0-5 right now. He's looking to be 0-6. Very, very close to be able to go down. Jin not able to do too much because he's so low. Whoa, insane! Aatrox going right into the base, going right into both of the base turrets. Inhibitor down at 22 minutes. This game has completely shifted in 5 minutes. EverFrag with 4 down against their opponent's Diesel Time, looking for the finish, and it's almost a certainty that they're going to do that. No mistakes given. They're going to keep hitting the Nexus. After a couple of kills, they're going to pick up a few. You know, they do have a little bit of week 1 to make up for, but 31-14, this is a statement. These guys are here to play, and watch out for them. Xayah, massive game. 14-2-5, also huge. Morgana with 0-0-17. We're going to switch back over to the game screen. Massive games. Nunu getting behind early against the Lee Sin, but was able to come back, and he stopped dying. He was able to be in the right place at the right time, gank lanes appropriately, and especially in the top lane, Aatrox being able to turn these ganks that were coming his way. And you really have to look at that DC that Talon, as he was roaming top lane at about the 7-minute mark, they were going to have a successful 3v1 on Aatrox as he was pushing into Vlad, and instead being able to pick up the double kill in top lane. You really have to wonder what would have happened if that didn't happen. If they picked up a successful kill on Aatrox, how does the game change at that point? You know, we can only ask these questions, but these damage charts, Aatrox and Xayah, and despite being quite down in the kills and assists, Vladimir doing a lot of damage. Definitely pulling his weight for the team. Tank stats. Aatrox leading the game. You know, you've had a good Aatrox game when you can win the top and be leading. Gold earned. Xayah with those 14 kills. Yeah, you're gonna be ahead on a 22-minute game with 14 kills. In like 99% of your games. Vision score, the Morgana 0-0-17. Hard bot lane carry from EverFrag. And they got that towards the last part of laning phase and the mid game. It was not an early stomping at all. They went fairly even in the early part of the game. Was able to take that in for the win. Okay, well, that's what's happened, and we're going to be having Game 2 coming right up between Diesel Time and EverFrag. I myself, Exel. You can see the shirt. You can see OESL. Season 2. Season 4. I was also part of Season 2, but we're talking about Season 4 here. We'll be right back in a moment. and the draft is on the way. We are using Pro Draft here. Just one little point I wanted to touch on. Look at all the leagues that are going on here at Ontario Esports League. All of these are active leagues except for the this Overwatch. They are looking to register gold and below players. I believe it's on Wednesday nights. So if you're interested in playing that, Overwatch on Wednesdays. And then Fortnite is all platforms. It's anytime you get players to go. It's Fortnite solos, cross-platform. Get together in the Discord, come meet up with some other players, and have some fun playing Fortnite with people from all over. You got PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all that, and of course the Overwatch leagues. I watched a little bit of one of the leagues. Excellent casting. Same with the Fortnite. Watched a gentleman cast some of the Fortnite solos, and very knowledgeable, very entertaining. You got a great team here at OESL that I'm very happy to be a part of. So thank you for joining, and let's get right into this Champion Select. We're having Game 2 between Diesel Time and EverFrag. EverFrag did take the first one of this doubleheader.
May you die with your eyes closed.
Okay, well, for bans, we're seeing pretty standard bans. We're seeing the Zaya that was banned. Diesel Time taking that out. The 80 carry performed extremely well in that last game, and also a ban for the Aatrox. So already getting rid of 2 of the 5 champions played from EverFrag is Diesel Time. So taking it out, want to see, hey, what else do you got? Some of these picks we've got. Top lane, most likely Kled versus Ornn. We're seeing the jungler is going to run it back again. Lee Sin, who had a great start last game, was way up ahead, but was just not able to convert that into a win. Up against the Nunu once again, not so good of a start. Held it together. Did well, got objectives, helped the right lanes, stopped dying. There you go. Was useful. Mid lane's going to get changed up a little bit. Yasuo versus Akali. Generally like the Akali matchup in that. Also Ignite versus Teleport. So we're gonna see if that's gonna play out. And then a Caitlyn Brand lane here from Diesel Time up against the double shield lane of Sivir Morgana. So you're looking to time the Brand W with either the Sivir shield or the Morgana Black Shield. So lots of balance going around. Diesel Time a little bit heavy on the AD, but not overly. Still can make this work. Has the right amount of CC. That Ornn with the Yasuo, nice combination there. Just like with Yasuo Malphite, Ornn got that very predictable ultimate that be able to get that multi knock up here from and get Yasuo to do all kinds of damage. The EverFrag though is definitely using a charge Atom and clean them up type of comp. You have Sivir and Kled that are they're gonna run. I'm gonna call this the Usain Bolt comp because there's a lot of speed here. Nunu as well, just having that natural speed. Akali wanting the dash here, there, and everywhere. And they get a little bit of safety with Morgana's shield as they dive in. So be interesting to see how this plays out. Hercules picking up the Morgana once again. Standout performance last game, not dying the entire game, 0-0 and 17. Be looking for this bot lane that held it together during lane and then really took off. Is Cookless Dinosaur and Hercules. For top laner, we are going to see someone new. Aatrox was banned. Kled picked up. Kled, you're seeing quite a bit in solo queue, also in the mid lane. Not as much in the professionals. Really, only China is the region that's playing it a lot. And again, I'm talking about last season, 9.22 and before. We are at 9.23. The preseason patch, the biggest change of the game, just happened. The teams that can figure each other out and figure the patch out as quick as possible will have an advantage. So we are going to be looking here in week 2 and going forward which teams adapt, which strategies are going to be used, who's going to get banned out. Got a 6-week season, 4-week regular season, 2 weeks of playoffs. I can't wait till December. We've got a lot of special action here. I can't wait for playoffs. Going to be going all out. These are very exciting games, but playoffs are where we're going to be, where it's going to make it or break it. And really, the only 4-0 team is losing is fun too. That's it. Everyone else has lost games, or a game at least. So who's it going to be? We don't know. Can't wait to find out. Here we're having the leagues once again. Just bring that up big for everyone. Monday, the League of Legends Gold night and the Overwatch Plat night. Wow, what a game! What a night of games right there. If you like competitive local games, that Monday seems to be the premium night. But ooh, look at that too. We're having League of Legends. You're watching it right now, but Overwatch is trying to fill. Wednesday can be great too. We could have Monday and Wednesday with Overwatch and League of Legends. Hey, what more could you ask for? Fortnite playing all the time. FIFA getting played. They want to play what they want to put on what people want to play. If your game's not being played, let them know. Write them. Twitter, Twitch, go in the Discord server, right? There's so many avenues. Ask and ye shall receive. All right, we're just about getting in game. Each team has different advantages in different parts of the map. Both have strong sides. Both have different ways they want to win this game. And now dragons are so important about how this map shows up. Frankly, looking over here at EverFrag, I think they want speed. They want the wind dragons coming up. They want to run right through the jungle and then just go Usain Bolt, but like on every steroid imaginable as they're running around dragon. You get a speed boost around here. You get a speed boost around the buffs as well. And if you're looking over to Diesel time, well, they just want to win. They just want to win. That's it. We're gonna look towards the knock-up combos of Ornn and Lee Sin knocking up for the Yasuo. Looks like a blue start here for EverFrag, and a blue start here for Diesel time. Let's see if there's any cheeky early ganks. Because you can hit level 3 now in the jungle off of 3 camps, you might see a lot of junglers opt to go for that 3 camp start and then gank. Whereas before, 922 and before, you see a lot of junglers want to, well, the early game junglers, especially like a Lee Sin, gank after level 2 to try to get their lane ahead. Even if it's just a flash or half health bar damage, it can mean everything to your laner. Picking up that CS is Yasuo. Push has been successful from Kali, getting the advantage on that trade, being able to get the electrocute proc. Yasuo's not having all of it. 2/3 help for each. Swing over to the bot lane. Early damage towards Sivir. She may not have her shield yet. Going to be a first gank towards mid. Kali already on her top side, hitting level 3. Yasuo's going in. It is going to be a 2-on-2, but early damage so far for Diesel time. Looks like they're going to focus the Nunu. They're going to go for first blood, and not happy with that. They're going to keep going for second. They're trying to get a return. Is a Kali. Oh, so very close. The health is burning down. It's burning down, but it's not quite enough. Double kill. Lee Sin. Diesel time. They are back in it. Back in the series, I mean. Well, they're winning the game. Gonna pick up that first scuttle. Ornn looking to get some damage. Now, with this mount down, you could see a gank come up for Lee Sin. Yes, he's being called. Lee Sin does not have flash, but he does have double buffs. Was able to hit him already with the red. 3-0. And it's a Shalumpin right now. At first back, it's going to have around 1,100 gold or so. Ooh, more than that. Picked up the Tiamat. Tiamat with boots and a control ward. Doesn't get any better than that for a first back. Kali was calling jungler in, but there's really nothing you can do with the lane pushed this far. Yasuo would have seen Nunu go to this bottom side. Definitely do not want this fight. Nunu is going to keep the ball rolling, but it's going to get knocked down by Lee Sin. Should have went for that blast cone, you would think, because now he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, the resonating strike just barely misses. Nunu going to get right out, but now Akali's in trouble. But being able to turn some damage onto Yasuo is going to be very, very close here to who gets the kill first. But that's going to be once again to Lee Sin. And he's like European royalty. He does not want to share. He wants it all for himself. Nothing. Making a statement in their second game of this series. Both scuttles now going over for Diesel time. It's unsure whether he's going to go directly for the dragon. That would be aggressive. Their mid laner did go back, the Yasuo, and bot lane does not have priority. It is an even lane, at least in terms of where the lane position is. Farm-wise, it's pretty even. Looks like a back is the safer of the play. And I like that decision. You go for the dragon there, and that could be turned. You could have a Kali roaming from mid, and then as she sees you doing it, can call in the Nunu as well. Going for the second upgrade of jungle item here. With some extra attack speed. 5-0 here from Lee Sin. Top lane's getting pushed in. Big CS lead here for top laner. Even though Ornn is going to pick up a good amount of CS here. Still going to be up a significant amount. 18 is the magic number. Most likely has a has a buy right now as well. Lee Sin continuing his lead, going to counter jungle a little bit. Lee Sin, Yasuo and Akali going to fight a little bit of mid lane because he's got a little bit of help. Turning it is the Kled. Being able to get all kinds of damage. Does not have a whole lot of items right now. It's just with the longsword and the Dorans, but it's all he needs apparently. 2 kills going over, and let's get some right back into the game here. Kled gonna head back towards top lane. He's got a big wave pushing here, and Ornn will most likely start constructing an item or do a back if he wants the mana. Pick up a lot of CS there. Bot lane's pushed from Diesel time. Brand getting good poke onto Sivir. You threatened to kill that ward, but decides the better of it. His scuttle would be a nice conciliatory prize. Still behind. He's 2 levels behind. He will probably pick up level 5 from this. Ooh, oh so close. Maybe 10 or 20 XP down. Level 6 hit by Caitlyn, also by Sivir. Nunu's coming down with the frozen ice ball. Flash for flash. Going to be able to get the brand. That's off of turret. Exhaust is going to be able to mitigate the damage, but Lee Sin's going to come in, and here he's got a good chance of taking out the whole team here. Going to go towards the... Oh, I was going to say the support, but he's hitting his resonating strike. Being able to take out the Sivir. 8 kills to 0. Lee Sin, 100% kill participation. Just lost it right there as Orm coming down. Did not pick up the kill on that one, but Lee Sin, 7-1-1. Taken over 9 minutes, but the gold is not that far in advance. Really, he's the only gold lead. If you look, he's got more than double the gold. 49-22. Top lane, Kled is leading. Mid lane, Yasuo's up by 500. Bottom lane, Caitlyn, Bran have a slight edge. Maybe about 1,500 gold between the two of them. Warren going to be able to get some damage onto Kled, including the tower shot. Already got him down to half. He's going to be ready to dismount shortly. Kled with the superior items at this point, though. A little bit of a bug there, it seemed like. There was no knockup. On my screen, that showed a knockup. Lee Sin picking up kills everywhere. Can't be everywhere at once. He's literally picking too many up. But here, it looks like they're calling the dive onto the Orin, who's got less than half health. Let's see if they can hit the knockup. They're able to hit it. The tower is targeting the Nunu, so 1 kill goes over. And a good use of the ult from Kled. Picking up the trading kill. Really, this is the one highlight on the map is top lane for EverFrag. Everywhere else, it's tears and sadness. I think there's a party in Lee Sin's blindfold, and you know, everyone on his team's invited. But is he going to be able to get the kill with Yasuo? And no, Akali picking that up. Despite being behind, the Ignite's going to be enough to secure that damage. Tower goes down at the 11-minute mark. So yes, her first kill does go her way. But no mid tower is muy bueno for Yasuo. First drag of the game. It's taken a long time to get. Both teams are seeing that it's the Mountain Dragon, and neither are excited to get. Stacking the defensive stats. You tend not to build defensive unless you're a straight tank in the top lane to start. Or I guess in the jungle as well. But if you're going to build any damage item in the jungle, you're going to build it first to help you clear. So if you're looking about which of the dragons you generally would want to postpone in this new preseason patch, that would be the Cloud Dragon and the Mountain Dragon. Cloud because it is gives the ultimate cooldown, and it goes over the cap. So generally you don't hit your 45% cooldown cap until later in the game, until you get 2 or 3 items. So not useful until later on. As useful, still useful. Lee Sin is that strong that he could think about it, but wanting to make sure that he's got his team with him. Did finish the warrior enchantment. While they're thinking about dragon, Kled is taking this rift, and this is an excellent turn of events for EverFrag. You got the one person who's carrying on your team, getting him the buff that
can help him get some more turret plates. And here, Akali going in into the knockup. Lee Sin being able to finish that off with Yasuo this time around. Last time, not so much. Flash going away from Nunu. Similar situation to last game where Nunu is not starting well compared to Lee Sin. It's just that Diesel Time's got a much bigger lead, and Mikael Tal's got a much bigger lead than last time. So similar, but not quite in the same scale. Exhaust being used. Alt be able to get the stun onto Ornn, but having a hard time being able to get out with that Brand ult going in between two turrets, finishing that off, knocking back and forth from the Sivir to the Brand. Despite this 15-6 scoreline, only 3,000 gold difference. This game is not over. There's a neutral objective advantage for EverFrag here with the Rift Herald going over. No dragons have spawned as of yet, so we're not going to see too many of the neat later dragon buffs as we see in many games with this delay. Defenses are going to be useful for that Nunu. Going to be starting to build resistances right now. Mountain Dragon now 8, 16, 24, 32% increased armor and magic resist. Oh, this is what we were waiting for. Kled, going to use this on the bot lane. Are they going to call a dive at this? When they see the third person, they should call it off. And they do. They get some damage. He's going to get back to lane before it goes down. Black shield right before the teleport goes up. I love that play as the Morgana. It's one that I like to try to do. Gives them a little bit of safety, teleporting back into a minion wave, into two parties as well. Just look at that CS difference between the top laners. Ornn having a very bad time being able to get his items and his gold up. Kled pushing waves to tower, and Ornn having a hard time picking them up. Excuse me. Still about a 3,000 gold lead. Oh, Brand being able to pick that up. Even if he wasn't going to be able to finish that up, Caitlyn's ace in the hole would have. 2-0 and 4 for this AD carry. Once again, bot lane, there is a difference. Just opposite teams this time. Diesel Time getting their bot lead advantage, whereas last game it was EverFrag. Here we're having Usain Bolt team going in, Kled diving in, but losing his partner first, and he's a 4-on-1 now. So yeah, you're running quickly into a situation, but maybe not an optimal one. Sivir has the wave clear. Unfortunately, the rest of her team does not. Looking to get her second item. She just has the Essence Reaver. Whereas Caitlyn has that ever-powerful Infinity Edge as a first item. The new build that you go in Season 9, that's what you go. Ornn's having a very hard time getting levels, getting CS. Went for the Sunfire Cape to be able to try to push back the waves, allow him to roam, which is very difficult at this point. Lee Sin with a couple of pieces and the Warriors. Looks like he, with that Phage, is going to go for the Black Cleaver. Going to look for that armor shred. A little bit of hit points, attack damage. Strong item at this point. Bot lane, we're having Yasuo push up.
can push waves to tower, but he's not going to be able to get tower damage on it. Not with a Sivir there. Ping's going out onto the Kled. EverFrag's in a lot of trouble if they lose their Kled. Ping's going out towards the bottom. Yasuo's getting 2-on-1, but Ornn's coming up to turn the tables. Being able to stop the ultimate is the Ornn. The 3-on-2 now. Yasuo's about to go down. That goes over to Kali. Being chased under tower is the Sivir, but it's going to be too little too late for the Ornn, who just does not have the tank stats to be able to do any significant amount of damage underneath that tower. 2 for 1 for EverFrag. Here, and once again, another team fight. You got to like this for EverFrag because they have the 2 previous kills before. They could look to try to turn this. Yasuo's chasing the kill. Guessed wrong on that one. A little bit of BM there with the Draven emote. Keeping up the counter jungle. Oh, deciding against it. We're having a dragon come up. This will be Diesel Time's first dragon. And the new and unimproved Infernal Dragon. That's right, unimproved. Rift Herald's coming back up. The Rift Herald does go down at 1930, I believe I read. Let's see if I read the patch notes correctly. Oh, I did not. It is going to go right to the full 20-minute mark. There's a lot of patch notes. I can't remember everything. But you saw that right, folks. Now 2 Rift Heralds. So both of them going over to EverFrag. So dragons are even at 1 apiece, but the 2 Rift Heralds over to EverFrag. Ornn is not going to be able to get out of this despite trying to E out. Lee Sin going to try to pick up trade away kill. Does pick up 1. Lunu being able to get the CC onto the Lee Sin. But Lee Sin not going to be able to get enough damage. But Caitlyn is going to be able to, picking up another one on the backside. But EverFrag getting the advantage on that. Even though it's 3 for 3, they did pick up the Rift Herald earlier. And a nice steal from Brand. Really the best person on his team to be able to use that blue buff. But Kled is not having anything of it. And they're so confident he can get it that Nunu just went back. It's going to be kind of disappointing if they don't pick up that kill, at least on the Nunu side. Yeah, a little bit of a WTF. I mean, from his team. Kled is very, very strong right now. Once again, we'll go ahead and take a look at this new item, the Sanguine Blade. Now, this one I did read the patch notes for. So you do more damage when there is less people around. So you get lethality, attack speed when there's less people. So you'd like to think that with assassins that would be best. Like something like a Kha'Zix where you're trying to pick people out. A Kali would be great as well. Sanguine Blade with a new passive. Depending on how many people are around you. Kind of like a reverse gargoyle, like Stone Plate, where you get that extra buff if there's 3 people around you. But reverse. 5,000 gold. Still for Diesel Time. But this wasn't as far as it's been. EverFrag's doing an excellent job staying in this game. They want to even up the score of the tournament. They're at 1-2 right now. A win here will put them at 2-2. Right smack in the middle. Fighting for that playoff position. There's that new bush. Love that new bush. So simple. So effective. Or so game-changing, rather. It's going to be a key bush to ward if you want to prevent invades on your jungle. You can ward 2 places now.
Rift being used in the mid lane. Be able to get a charge off here. They probably could force this. It's going to be down very, very close, but they decide not to. They could have decided to, but here we're having Callie here in the backline taking all kinds of damage, being able to get out, but not doing a lot of damage herself. We're having the Kled now losing the mount. The Ace in the hole getting some damage, but follow up with that is the Yasuo. Diesel Time's coming back here. Picking up the kill on the farthest ahead champ on EverFrag. They could try a pick. The team's a little bit split up, but EverFrag does not know this. They have to assume that 5 people are here. Time for doing Baron would have been before. It's a little bit late now. Will EverFrag check it though? No check, and just free over for Diesel Time. They skirmish with 3 people here in the jungle, and then EverFrag backs off. And then they start the Baron with 4. And able to pick it up in about 6 or 7 seconds before EverFrag checks. And that's just the danger of not knowing who's in your jungle. The vision and the topside jungle was non-existent for EverFrag, and they didn't want to check. Third dragon of the game is Ocean, and we've seen this one before here on week 2. The extra bushes, extra bushes, extra bushes. There's also plants. You see there's plants now, honey fruit. And then also there's water. There's pools around the camps and the buff. Oh, we're having a fight in the bot lane. Jungler versus top lane. The 2 carries from each of their teams, level 14. Let's see who's going to be able to take this. It's going to be awfully close. It looks like Kled has an advantage. Mount being disabled. Being able to take that. And top laner now also, again, another change. Laner's XP is more and jungler is less. Oh, Mount just being able to get back on. It just barely keeps him in that. He's able to turn that fight. Nunu's going to come to look to be able to get onto the Caitlyn, and just barely able to get out is Kled. Nunu's going to try to be able to get underneath this tower and do some damage, and wisely does not go into the Baron buffs and into the tower. And this is a turn for EverFrag, despite Diesel Time having that Baron. Baron not overly useful. EverFrag very weak here. Flash away from Brand, but flashing forward is Kookless Dinosaur, picking up his 4th kill. Yes, had to use the flash for it, but does have that 2.5 items. Very, very close to being able to finish that Infinity Edge as Sivir, where she's going to be really having a good time at that. A little bit of a misplay here from Ornn, but EverFrag is going to be able to get some tempo back with this kill. They do have 2 enemies down, 2 down for Diesel Time, their top and their support, versus the 80 carry for EverFrag. Top and bottom waves both pushing for EverFrag. Kills heavily in Diesel Time's favor, but that's been the whole game. Gold, 4,000, 5,000 now. Not too much. Once again, with the engage is Nunu. He's trying to stay alive to get as much damage down as possible. Even with Black Shield, it's not going to be enough to be able to do enough damage that it's going to change the outcome. Pizza Time Sivir is throwing those pies. Should have no problem wave clearing here. This could be an optimal fight position once the members of EverFrag come back. That was a solid hourglass there, but not going to be able to do anything against the resonating strike. Goes deep. Going to trade 1 for 1. You have to like that for EverFrag. Jungle for support. And once again, the stopwatch being used by the support. Nunu is going to try to turn this. But meanwhile, Yasuo's having another story. Double ultimate with the knockup. Oh, so very close from being able to pick up that second kill. Fights are going fast. Kills all over the place. 3 for 2 now for Diesel time, but just barely. Wave being pushed. Caitlyn with a couple of autos. Be able to knock this down, and those are fast autos as well with that Phantom Dancer being picked up. Orange starting to buff items, has his own Sunfire Cape buffed as well as Caitlyn's Infinity Edge, and he keeps missing those E's, and really you put yourself in a bad position when you miss an E because you don't get the knockup and you don't have the E to get back out, so he's going to go down, but not before flashing out. No return flash. A little bit surprising there. Guess they don't know exactly who's behind that jungle. Don't want to overstretch. We know this is going to be an Ocean Dragon because of the changes. Until the Rift Herald spawns, it will be continually be Ocean Dragons. Ocean's not giving mana anymore, just health. 5, 10, 15, 20% health. A percentage of life every 5 seconds versus every 8 seconds before, and then now you don't have to be out of combat. You can be in combat and still get that regen. No help for Morgana. Awfully lonely in these parts. Baron's going to be coming up. Less than 30 seconds. Diesel time's at an excellent position. We'll look to pressure mid before swinging back. We could look to go for this dragon. Ornn checking that bush, but less than half health. Not able to check it for very long. Nunu getting caught in that Caitlyn trap. Brand's all just going all over the place. Diesel time just with too much damage, too many items, too many levels. Three for 1. It's an Ocean. That's an Infernal they have. And this should be uncontested because Nunu is down. Second Baron. Over to Diesel time. A little bit of change with the Baron and Elder Dragon timers. Timers in the how long they last. They both last 3 minutes now. So a little bit less for Baron, a little bit more for Elder Dragon. Personally, I like it. Keeps it simple. 3 minutes. You know they're going to have it till 34 minutes. They initially start off with a 1-3-1. Ornn going in the bot lane. Caitlyn pushing the top. But Caitlyn just wanted to get a little bit of CS while finishing an item. Does have the GA now. 4-item Caitlyn. Lee Sin with the engage. Going onto the Kled. Black Shield trying to disengage. It is just enough. Black Shield being useful this time around. Using that for the Kled. Hercules has died this game. Game 1 of this doubleheader. Died no times. This time 7 times. A little bit of a harder lane for him. Bot turret is full health. But this is a double cannon minion wave here. Double ultimates used onto Morgana, Brand, and Caitlyn. The hourglass buys a little bit of time. but will not keep her alive for a significant amount of time. With these double canyons, you can keep them buffed. You still have 28 seconds until Morgana's back alive. Now with these supers in this cannon here, that should be enough to try to finish the game. Kick onto Sivir, but the Yasuo's going to follow up with the ult. Nunu's going to try to disengage with his ult. Damage and CC. It's a plenty. Goran is doing all the tanking that he can. Does have that second item. Not yet finished his third. Kills going all over the place. Orin does have those minions helping him out, but Kled is going to be able to... Ooh, one shot. He's using the ult. He really wants it. Knocks him down. But all these minions inside the base. 2v3. But the minions may make the difference. Excellent decision to go onto the Caitlyn there. But the trap going to stop the Morgana from able to moving around. Lee Sin's going to finish it off. 15 kills, 5 deaths, 16 assists. Huge game for Lee Sin. Mikael Tal. And Diesel Time evens up the series at 1-1. So Diesel Time's now at 2-2. EverFrag is now 1-3. But very, very good job from EverFrag staying in this game despite being significantly down to start. Damage charts here, significantly ahead. Brand, Caitlyn, Lee Sin, Diesel Time, way more damage. Just the Kled coming close. Tank stats, Kled leading the field. Really, really strong game from him. Kept his team in it. Really like to see that pick going forward for the top laner of EverFrag. Vision score. Naturally, the team ahead. Got a nice lead here. Back over to the stats. And there we have it, folks. Week 2 in the books. Exel here. See the name? OESL. Season 4. Another great week 2. Seeing teams only losing is fun too. Remains lossless. We're going to see how long they can keep that going forward. I did not know the result of the second game, but we will find that out. The second series here going 1-1. Extremely close tournament. Week 2 in the books. I'm going to have to say goodbye to myself. Thank you all for joining. Have yourself a good night.